Tian 1, or Heavenly Questions. Who passed down the story of the far-off ancient beginning of things? How can we be sure what it was like before the sky above and the earth below had taken shape? Since none could penetrate that murk when darkness and light were yet undivided, how do we know about the chaos of insubstantial forms? What manner of things are the darkness and light? How did yin and yang come together, and how could they originate and transform all things that are by their commingling? Whose compass measured out the ninefold heavens? Whose work was this, and how did he accomplish it? Where were the circling cords fastened, and where was the sky pole fixed? Where did the 8 pillars meet the sky, and why were they too short for it in the southeast? Where do the 9 fields of heaven extend to, and where do they join each other? The ins and outs of their edges must be very many. Who knows their number? How does heaven coordinate its motions? Where are the 12 houses divided? How do the sun and the moon hold to their courses, and the fixed stars keep their places? Setting out from the gulf of brightness, and going to rest in the vale of murk, from the dawn until the time of darkness, how many miles is the journey? What is the peculiar virtue of the moon, the brightness of the night, which causes it to grow once more after its death? Of what advantage is it to keep a toad in its belly? How did the mother star get her 9 children without a union? Where is Lord Bluster, the wind star, and where does the warm wind live? What is it whose closing causes the dark, and whose opening causes the light? Where does the bright god hide before the horn proclaims the dawning of the day? If Gun was not fit to allay the flood, why was he given this charge? All said, "Never fear, try him out, and see if he can do it." When the bird turtles linked together, how did Gun follow their sign? And if he accomplished the work according to his will, why did the High Lord punish him? Long he lay cast off on Feather Mountain. Why for 3 whole years did he not rot? When Lord Gun brought forth Yu from his belly, how was he transformed? Yu inherited the same tradition and carried on the work of his father. If he continued the work already begun, in what way was his plan a different one? How did he fill the floodwaters up where they were most deep? How did he set bounds to the 9 lands? What did the winged dragon trace on the ground? Where did the seas and rivers flow? What did Gun plan, and what did Yu accomplish? Why, when the wicked one was enraged, did the earth sink down towards the southeast? Why are the lands of the earth dry and the river valleys wet? They flow eastwards without ever getting exhausted. Who knows the cause of this? What are the distances from east to west and from south to north? From north to south the earth is longer and narrower. What is the difference between its length and breadth? Where is Kunlun with its hanging garden? How many miles high are its 9-fold walls? Who goes through the gates in its 4 sides? When the northeast one opens, what wind is it that passes through? What land does the sun not shine on, and how does the torch dragon light it? Why are the rule flowers bright before she-her is stirring? What place is warm in winter? What place is cold in summer? Where is the stone forest? What beast can talk? Where are the hornless dragons which carry bears on their backs for sport? Where is the great serpent with 9 heads, and where is Shu-hu? Where is it that people do not age? Where do giants live? Where is the 9-branched weed? Where is the flower of the great hemp? How does the snake that can swallow an elephant digest its bones? Where is the black water that dyes the feet, and where is the mountain of 3 perils? The folk there put death off for many years. What is the limit of their age? Where does the man-fish live? Where is the monster bird? When Yi shot down the suns, why did the ravens shed their feathers? Yu labored with all his might. He came down and looked on the earth below. How did he get that maid of Tu Shan and lie with her in Tai Sang? The lady became his mate, and her body had issue. How came they to have appetite for the same dish when they sated their hunger with the morning food of love? Qi supplanted Yi and made himself lord, but later met with mishap. How did Qi fall into trouble, and how did he succeed in warding it off? All gave him their allegiance, and did no harm to his person. How is it that Yi lost lordship, and Yu's seed was continued? Qi was many times the guest of God in heaven, and brought back the 9 changes and the 9 songs. Why, if he was so good a son, did he kill his mother, and why were his lands divided up after his death? God sent down Lord Yi to overcome the calamities of the people below. Why then did he shoot the river lord and take to wife that lady of the Luo? With his trusty bow and good thumb ring he shot the great swine. Why, when he offered the fat of its flesh cooked as a sacrifice, was the Lord God displeased? Zhuo took the black fox to wife, and that dark woman plotted with him. How was Yi's body boiled, and how did they conspire to have him eaten? On that westward journey, from Zhu to Qiangshi, how did Yi cross the heights? And when Gun turned into a brown bear, how did the shamans bring him back to life? Both sowed the black millet, and the rushlands became a place of husbandry. Why, if each made the same sowing, did Gun alone reap a harvest of infamy? What is the halo of white light doing in this hall? Where did Yi get that goodly herb, and why could he not keep it? The heaven-made pattern embraces all, and when the young spirit leaves, death ensues. Why did the great birds cry? How did they lose their substance? When Ping summons up the rain, how does he raise it? When those great different parts were assembled and joined onto a deer, how were they fitted into shape? When the great turtle walks along with an island on his back, how does he keep it steady? When the strong man made the boat move over the dry land, how did he lift it? When Jiao was in Hu, what did he want with his sister-in-law? How did Shao Kong go hunting with his dogs and bring his head tumbling down? Nu Qi sewed Jiao's lower garment for him, and she lodged with her in her house. How did her head fall from her body and she herself meet the end that was meant for him? When the strong man prepared his warriors for battle, with what did he strengthen them? When he overturned the boat of the lord of Zhenshun, by what means did he take it? What did Jie get when he attacked Ming Shan? How did Mo Xi bewitch him, and how did Tang kill him? If Shun had a wife in his house, how could he be a bachelor? How could Yao's 2 daughters be married to him if he did not tell his family? Who built the 10-storied Tower of Jade? Who foresaw it all in the beginning when the first signs appeared? By what law was Nu Wa raised up to become High Lord? By what means did she fashion the different creatures? Shun served his brother, but his brother still did him evil. Why, when he behaved worse than a brute beast to Shun, did Shun's brother come to no harm? Fleeing from Gu Gong, they possessed Wu and stayed in Nanyue. Who could have thought to find the 2 princes in that place? From a bird-shaped vessel embellished with jade, the High Lord was feasted. How did he receive counsel for Jie of Xia's overthrow, so that at the last he destroyed him? The High Lord came down and looked about, and there he met Yi Ji. How did he bring about Jie's chastisement, so that the people were mightily rejoiced? When Jian Di was in the tower, how did Ku favor her? When the swallow brought his gift, why was the maiden glad? Hai inherited prowess. His father was a goodly man. Why did he end by losing his oxen and sheep in Yo Yi? How did he win her heart by dancing with shield and plumes, and how did she of the smooth sides and lovely skin become his paramour? What did Yo Yi's herdsmen say when they found him? When they struck the bed, he had already left the chamber. How did he meet his fate? Hing, too, inherited Ji's prowess. How did he get back those ox herds and oxen? How did he go about there dispensing gifts, but not return empty-handed? Dark Wei followed in his brother's footsteps, and the lord of Yo Yi was stirred against him. Why, when the birds flocked together, did she forsake her own son and give herself to him? The dark man lay with her adulterously and destroyed his elder brother. Why, after such falsehood and treachery, was it given to his posterity to flourish? Tang the Successful traveled to the east and came to Yo-shin. How did he come to ask for that bondsman and win a goodly queen? From the tree by the water's edge they got that little child. Why did they so hate him that they sent him away with the lady of Yo-shin? Tang came out of Chongchuan. For what crime was he shut up there? Who provoked him to march with impatient heart against his lord king? On the morning of the first day we took our oath. How did we all arrive on time? When the gray geese came flocking together, at whose summons did they gather? When Zhuo's body was beheaded and mutilated, why was Shu Dan unhappy? When on his own he planned to make the dominion of Zhuo secure, why did King Fa sigh? For what kingly virtue did heaven bestow Yin's empire on him, and for what sin was it taken from him so soon after he had achieved it? How were the princes able to make rebellion when all the weapons of war had been handed in? And how did Shu Dan lead his armies to smite them on both their flanks? Lord Zhao did much traveling. What did it profit him to meet that white rhinoceros when he went to the Southland? King Mu was a breeder of horses. For what reason did he roam about? What was he looking for when he made his circuit of the earth? When the witches were tied up together, what was it that was crying in the marketplace? Whom was Yao of Zhou punishing when he got that Bao Si? Huan of Qi 9 times assembled the vassals, yet in the end his body was destroyed. Heaven in its dispensations veers first to one side and then to the other. Why did it first favor him and then afterwards punish him? Who was it that led King Zhuo into folly? Why did he hate his ministers and let flatterers and backbiters serve him? How had Bi Gan offended that he should be suppressed, and how had Lei Kai found favor to be given a fief? Mei Bo was sliced and salted, but Ji Zi feigned madness. Why is it that wise men whose virtue is the same yet act different in different ways? King Millet was his firstborn. Why did the High Lord treat him so cruelly? When he was left out on the ice, how did the birds keep him warm? How did he become a war leader? After giving the High Lord so great a shock, how did he come to have a glorious future? Lord Chang abandoned to his own title and consented to be a shepherd of the marches for King Zhou. Why, then, did he remove his altars from Qi and claim heaven's mandate to supplant Yin? When Tai packed up his possessions and moved to Qi, how did he get the people to follow him? Yin had a woman of guile. What protests did he hear? When Zhou bestowed that flesh on him, the Lord of the West declared it to heaven. Why did Zhou invite God's chastisement so that the dominion of Yin could not be saved? When Wang the counselor was in the market, how did Chang know him? When he struck with his knife and the sound rang out, why was the king pleased? When Wu set out to kill Yin, why was he grieved? He went into battle carrying his father's corpse. Why was he in such a hurry? Why did Bolin hang himself, when heaven was moved by his death to afflict the earth? Who was so afraid? When high God in heaven confers his mandate, how does he give notice of it? When he has bestowed dominion over the world on one, why does he take it away and give it to another? At first Tang made Jie his servant, but afterwards he made him his counselor. How did Jie end by becoming Tang's minister, and after his death share in the sacrifices of the royal ancestors? He the Valiant was the grandson of Ming. When he was young, he was an outcast. How did he make strong his might so that he could spread his authority abroad? What happened when Ping King offered the pheasant's broth to the High Lord? After enjoying so long a life, why did he still have regrets? When the lords of the center ruled together, why was the Lord King angry? Wasps and ants have a mean fate. How could their power be enduring? When the maiden warned the brothers not to pick ferns, how did the deer come to their aid? When they came north to the whirling water, why were they glad to be in that place? The elder brother had a hunting dog. Why did the younger brother desire it? The elder bestowed 100 chariots on him, yet he ended by losing all his substance. Toward evening there was thunder and lightning. Why was the lady sad? The High Lord did not reveal his majesty. What was he seeking? What was the king's sorrow when he lay in hiding and lived in caves? What did we say when he awoke to the error of his ways? When Jing was glorious in war, how came we to be the leaders? But when Guang of Wu seized power, why were we so long defeated? Round the village they went and through the altars until they came to the holy mounds. How came Zi Wen to be the fruit of such wantonness? Du Ao did not reign for long. How is it that though he murdered his lord and seized kingship for himself, yet the fame of his loyalty spread through the world?